I'm going to give you some quick and easy tips on how to keep your home safer for you and your family. Take a drill, replace the little tiny short screws with longer screws in your exterior doors. Simply replace these two screws and all the screws in your hinges one at a time so that your door will be anchored into the studs and not just into this tiny door frame. And if somebody tries to kick in your door, it will be 100 times harder with the long screws in there. Another one that should be obvious is not to leave your knives out. Here we have 15 murder weapons right here for somebody if they break into your house. It'd be smarter to hide these somewhere, whether it's in your pantry or your laundry room or somewhere that's not the average place for somebody to look, so that they can't easily be provided with a murder weapon the second they come in your home. Here's another simple one. Have good smoke detectors so you can hear a fire coming and you don't get burned alive. Put your keys and a little bit of money on your counter when you go to bed at night. Possibly somebody breaks in and this is all they need and they take it and leave and they don't go through the rest of your house where you and your family are. Make sure to have some other weapons handy, hidden around the house where children cannot reach them and the safeties are on in places where people do not know where they are besides you. So that if you're caught off guard in your bathroom, in your laundry room, in your pantry, in your kitchen, in your living room, that you have a weapon viable in case two people kick in your door and you left your weapons across the house or in a safe or something like that. Another thing you can consider is steel mesh screens. They're a little pricey, but they make it very hard for somebody to get in. They have a handle on the inside so you can still get out during a fire, but they're hard to cut through. You can't pull them off. You usually have to use tools to cut through them, which is much louder in the middle of the night than just taking a screen off and slipping through a window. Another recommendation I would have is to have a couple of dogs, like Gator and Biscuit here. They are not the most ferocious dogs, but they'll definitely warn me if somebody's coming in my yard or in my house at night. Put up security cameras in multiple places inside and outside of your house. When you think about placement, I like to think about places people can't reach. I like to think about places that people can actually see them in the outside, but not see them very well on the inside. And I like to make sure that they're all plugged into external battery sources so that if the power to my house is cut off, they will continue to record, and that my Wi-Fi is plugged into an external battery source as well, so it'll continue to update to the internet. Even if somebody breaks in, turns off my power, there is still a way for them to be on video and it'll still be updated to the internet even if they steal the cameras. And that brings up another point. Lock your electric panel so that people cannot walk up and turn off the power. That is a tactic that a lot of criminals will use, is turn off the power before they invade your home. And if you don't have flashlights and things readily available, you can't turn on lights and see. And also it will shut down cameras if they're not hooked up to those external battery sources like I was talking about earlier. And those aren't very expensive, and cameras aren't very expensive. Maybe $40. I've even gotten cameras as cheap as $6 at Home Depot on a sale that were Wyze cameras. And those are the cameras I always use, Wyze cameras, W-Y-Z-E. They're some of the best cameras. They're cheap on Amazon. I don't endorse them. I'm not a paid promotion or anything, but those are the ones that I use because I've used some other ones and their apps and stuff to monitor from your phone are very complicated and don't work well. And remember, if you have limitless money, you can go with things like bulletproof doors, ballistic doors, bulletproof windows, safe rooms, all sorts of things that the average person like me can't afford. But people, if you can afford it, it's something you can look into because there's just about anything you could think of can be built if you have enough money.